haven't even done this intro in such a long time. This is like the 5th time I've been. Hi, welcome. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about makeup. I'm gonna go from this to this. So if you want to see how that comes together, grab a cup of whatever you feel like drinking, and here we go. Everything that I use is going to be mentioned below. Over here, you're only seeing one video a week right now, and I'm testing products all week long. A lot of those reviews have gone up on the site. This is the INNBEAUTY SPF. Prepare to take notes because there will be a lot of products talked about today that I just haven't gotten to over here. So this was gifted. I was under no obligation to review it, and I really like it. I really like it. It has SPF 43, broad spectrum, PA+++, quite a bit of zinc oxide at 12.4%, I believe. I don't know why I remember that. It's weird. I can't remember parts of American history, and I can remember the amount of zinc oxide in this sunscreen. It has silicones, and it's going to irritate my skin. I'm not going to leave this on all day. Otherwise, I would have really been pro this product. This has been very popular on the website for a reason. I think people are trying to figure out if it's worth it. If it weren't for the silicones, I would be very excited about it. Even though it's in this packaging, they do take sustainability pledges, things like that. Airpress Oat Milk Foundation, simply because I haven't used it in a really long time and I was missing it. This has been a favorite of mine, as you know, for those who are subscribers. You guys know I've talked about this before. Such a great foundation. And I'm going to try with a sponge because it's so humid outside. I don't know if it's humid where you are, but if it is, then you know what I mean. And I don't want anything super sticky or tacky, or I really become extra sensitive to that during the summer because I'm already not a warm weather person. And then if I have something sticking on top of it, it drives me nuts. I turn into a child, turn into like a 12-year-old. So the sponge is going to lift a little bit. This is the Exa sponge. It's a good sponge. Is it better than all the rest? No. Do I like it? Yeah. I was just so hungry for product talk because there really has been so much that I've been trying. This is the Rare Beauty. Oh my God, what is this called? This is the under eye brightener from Rare Beauty. Rare Beauty is a brand you rarely see over here. No pun on rarely. I just brought this out because I was like, hey, I bought it on a whim. Don't really remember why, but I did. And it is a beautiful under eye brightener. And my mom was over here the other day and she sat down because I had extra product that I had already just done scorecards for. She gets first dibs on everything. I feel like, she gave me life. So, she should probably get first dibs. I mean, not only that, but she's done a lot for me. So she walked out of here with a nice little StyleShaker gift basket. And one of the things that I pulled out of my drawer when I was just playing with makeup with her, just so fun, by the way, it's just so fun, is this under eye brightener. And I really like it because I primarily used it right in the corner, even though I just dragged it all over the place. And it brightens this area so well. I can't even begin to tell you. And it doesn't crease. So when I was using it, I was like, why am I not just using this? And then maybe I can set it. I'm not quite there yet. It's lacking in the coverage and opacity of a concealer, but I really like it. And it's not a clean brand. It's plastic. It's, I'm not here to be perfect. I do try to find better options, but pretty interesting one. And with the allergies being so bad, I noticed that the inner corners get even darker. Dark circles, hello. This is the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This kind of like fat kitten paw thing. I don't know what they call it at this point. This was the viral brush on TikTok. TikTok, which I like to also now refer to as Gen Z QVC. The whole TikTok thing where people are like, guys, game changer. This brush has completely changed my life. Has it changed my life? No. Do I think it's worth it? I like it. I like how it gets into corners and gets all around the face. But something about this, it's uneven bristles. And I don't know. I'm not in love with it yet. But I do still like the Ficlo corrector brush. Something like this just continues to work really well for me. Even if I brush it in here and then press it in with my finger. I'm gonna get it a little bit darker in here. I know it's like mood lighting all the time in this studio. I've stuck with it. It's so different from what I used to have, which was bright, seamless backdrop, which I personally like better, but a lot of you have mentioned you didn't like that. So you get what you asked for here. So this is the Iris and Romeo concealer, which has been a favorite for a long time. It is still separating, but I'm keeping it within expiration. So as you can see, there's some brightening here, but there's not a level of coverage. And this is really just, that's coverage. Brightening, coverage. Do you need both? Absolutely not. If one of the two of these is going to be discontinued, would I be upset about it? Yes, and it would be this one, even though it's separating, and I think that's really unacceptable for the price point. However, the brand has told me that that's okay. Of course, then I had a cosmetic chemist on my podcast who said absolutely don't use that around your eyes, and I continue to use it around my eyes. So I'm living on the edge, is what I'm telling you. And whether it's from this community or the site community, sometimes there's crossover. There's a lot of people that have purchased this, so if you're one of them and you have a good review or a negative review that you want to share with the community here, leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Something else that I wanted to talk about, I mean, I have almost 15 products in front of me outside of the products that I'm putting on my face. Don't think I should talk about all of them. I think that's going to be overwhelming. So if you want to see more, let me know in the comments, or if you're like, no, I'm overwhelmed, that's fine too. It's your call, really. Jillian Dempsey, these are those lid tints. I really like these. However, the more you try, the more you have to compare to. And I've been comparing this to the RMS Eyelights. This is going to hands down provide more pigment, probably lasts a little bit longer, actually definitely lasts a little bit longer. The Jillian Dempsey lid tint is lovely, but it does crease on me a little bit more than it used to, because when I first tried it, I was, I don't know, maybe like 6 years younger. Maybe that has something to do with it. However, you can prime the lid. You can prime it with a light dusting of powder. You can prime it with an actual primer. I don't like using those things, but that will help prevent this from kind of going away. I just use my finger to press this. I have peach colors in both of these, so you can see. I just press it in and it gives a wash of color. It's kind of just that like peachy wash of color. Very pale today, and whatever. Then you have this guy. This is the Eyelights in Sunbeam. I love Strobe and I like Sunbeam. Those are the two I really like a lot. I did get the lavender one because, as you know, I'm obsessed with pretty much everything lavender. I wasn't loving it, but I'm going to keep trying it because these things ebb and flow for me. It just depends on the mood. And as you can see, there's definitely more pigment in this one compared to this eye. You might not want a lot of pigment. You might just want a wash. I also think the Jillian Dempsey works well if you want to use it as a multitasker. But I like a strong peach lid right now. And usually these colors, like these amber kind of caramel colors, look so good. I have such envy for people with blue eyes. I really do. I always have. I've always wanted dark hair and light eyes. My dad has light eyes. And I'm like, grass is always greener. Granted, I'm grateful to have my eyes. Still, you know, you look at it and you're like, oh, I wish I had that. But I steered away from the warmer shades on my eyes for a really long time. And then a Gen C liquid shadow got me back into them. And now I'm really, really liking it. So I feel like they're not just for people with blue eyes, you know? You can just go crazy with it. The Mob Cake Liner, I have this in Peacock, which is a deep green, brown, and black. The Peacock shade I kind of panned. There's a full scorecard for this. There's a full scorecard for the Eyelights, the Air Perez Foundation, the Iris and Romeo, a new scorecard for this, by the way. So the Peacock, I just updated and revised that scorecard, and I was kind of underwhelmed by the Peacock until I smudged it out a bit. And the smudging really brings out the color. Otherwise, it just looks like a black shadow. So it's funny. I think one of the things that I've really grown into, and I know this because when I don't wear it, I feel very naked, is eyeliner. I love a wing. I've always loved a wing, but when I go out, something about that I really love having on my face. I don't know what it is. So it's become almost like a must-have for me. For most people, it's not. I don't think a lot of people always choose an eyeliner, but for me, I just really love it. And if you hear me say scorecard and you've not been here before, the scorecard is a review format that I've used for the past 7 years to try thousands of products. I found the most commonly asked questions and I just made it into a scorecard because it kept me sane. The more products I tried, the more questions I received about how they compare to one another. In the beginning, I was like, I don't remember. The website started as a database and it got like, I don't know, 500 people hitting it a day or something, or visiting it, not hitting it. Now it's up to 70,000 a month. It's crazy how something that I thought was going to be nothing is like the biggest resource, I think, for this community. Again, it's separate a little bit. I know you're here. Sometimes you go over there, but the scorecards, it's not rocket science. It's just what I've used for over the years. So I know some people have left comments recently and they're like, why is she saying scorecard? That's why I'm saying scorecard. And the new scorecard for this cake liner is available. I did that dry with no wetness on the brush or anything like that and blurred it out a little bit so you can see it's not black and it's less of a severe line, which I really like, especially for summer months. You don't want anything, I don't know, depends on what you like. What shall we talk about next? Oh, okay, just FYI, this is the zip device. This is not the newest one. The newest one is a halo. I've been using this. I'm doing 3 30-day tests right now. So as I do this, I'm going to put on bronzer, but I just want to let you know that I am on week 3 of that test. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than a month. Maybe not. I have before pictures. I'm checking on after pictures. I think the change is going to be subtle at first. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not seeing life-changing results at this point. I think you have to be consistent and you have to use it for a long enough time. So I don't want to prejudge it. Overall, I'm finding it pretty easy to work with. There's some intricacies to it that are like, this is weird. Like ways to hold it. There is an app that helps guide you through all the different modules. I don't know what it is, but it's basically each little session targets a different area on the face. We'll see how it goes. I'm not blown away yet, but I am noticing things. Another 30-day test that I'm doing is 30 days of walking 1 hour a day. And I took measurements, which I never do. Like I never stay on top of these things. Ever since I haven't had to be on Zooms for corporate, it's like a whole new section of my brain just opened right up. And I'm like, wow, look at that. Look at that. She can be creative. She has mental capacity to do things. It's very exciting. There was another one, but I can't remember what it is. This is the Mob Beauty bronzer. It's their clay bronzer in M80. I like it. I think it's one of those that is hard to mess up. If you like a subtle bronze, you might like it. But if this were to be discontinued, would I be devastated? No. I purchased this pen. Also can be used as a multitasker if you'd like. Oh, the other one. The other 30 days for my hair. I've been using a couple of different products that I'm going to talk to you about. I've been using like a whole hair system that I've tested out. I'm very curious to see how it's going to look. The Swede mascara, this was sent to me as well. Under no obligation to review anything that people send to me, unless they're going to pay me to talk about it. I'm under no obligation to review it. And if they're paying me to talk about it, I will tell you that they're paying me to talk about it. You will always have full transparency here, no matter what. It's been that way for 7 years. It'll be that way for as long as I'm on YouTube. So if you like that, by the way, and you want to support the channel, hit the like button. But you don't have to, but it's a little thing. It makes a big difference over here. Swede mascaras, I like them. This is the Cloud mascara in brown. I also have their other mascara in black. Sadly, they are very irritating to my eyes. That doesn't mean it's going to be the same experience for you, but I don't think I can continue that test, which stinks. Kind of a bummer there. It's really hard to put a scorecard up, you know, because I don't want my eyes to just like swell shut. I love you guys, but I'm probably not going to do that for you. So, and I don't think you would want me to, hopefully. So that's the quick and dirty review on that one. The Say blush is still so good. I think they're coming out with a bronzer version of this really soon. And yes, by the way, the Iris and Romeo mascara has been sent to me. So I'm going to test that out. It's in a glass container and I'm very excited about it. Beyond that, the other thing that's pretty sad that I just want to mention, because I was going to do a comparison today between the 11 sunscreen and the INNBEAUTY, this is already out of stock like everywhere. So I can't tell if they're discontinuing or repackaging because they had pump problems. But it was really good. Kind of a bummer. I am going to try the new RMS bronzer, the powder bronzer. I did get it, but this was on sale and this is their old Magic Luminizer. Let me tell you, they're very heavy. They're like plastic laden. The brand's gotten a lot better about a lot of things and not so great about other things. There's pigment on this. This was good. I'm like hesitant to put it on my face right now because that's going to look a little strange, but okay, fine. You talk me into it. I'll do it. Fine. The kickback's not great. I will say that. But when I first started reviewing, this was one of the bronzers and the highlighting powder. I'm putting very little on, or else we would get into like, not so good territory with the way my skin looks. This just sort of just bronzes and it glows, and I have a lot of glow from the INNBEAUTY as well, but if you don't want all that and you have a matte base, this just gives you a very subtle, kind of like a juicy bronziness to pop. Sorry, I'm not going to talk too long about that. I just wanted to mention that it was on steep sale if you can still get it there. I will have a link below to that. We love a good sale. Mascara and lip mascara, nothing new. I'm using this. The next one I will try will probably be the Iris and Romeo. Caloray, I just re-upped. I'm not going to tell you it's the easiest to remove from your eyes. For some people, this is going to be no-brainer. What is she talking about? You just put a warm washcloth over your eye, which is also just really good for your eye anyway, especially if you suffer from allergies. Wait for it to come off in those little tubes, little tubies. Like me, you have no patience at the end of the day and you're like, I just want to get into my bed. I just want my bed. I want to put on the Maya Chia oil, which, by the way, the body oil now has its very own scorecard back on the website. I don't know why it's taken me this long, but it is the oil that I started to use years ago. I have had it ever since. It's so good. It also has this neroli scent. They introduced me to neroli, the way that they formulated it. Whew. Usually I'll just put that here, and I have lotions or oils that I'm always testing elsewhere. It's just a part of the ritual. I'm going to put that on. I want to get into my bed, which, by the way, you can do that and it just doesn't rub off on sheets. It's great. So just to say that this is kind of annoying for me to get off and yet I keep repurchasing it says a lot. Says a lot. Also, I feel like this lasts for a little bit longer than most. Do you know what I mean? The other thing that I'm doing right now is double testing things, updating things, and setting out more scorecards on the website because I'm pulling together my magnum opus of favorites, 7 years and 7 videos or something. It's gonna be cool. And to do that, I cannot just go and say, yeah, I think I liked that. I have to go all the way back in because I want it to be a no-brainer. I'm not going to put something out there that you would have to pay to get if it's not a no-brainer to me. Like, it has to be good. This is the Westman Atelier matte lipstick. I think you're paying a lot for not only beautiful packaging, but this very intricate scrolling. I mean, it's a very Westman product, and there's obviously a market for that. And the ingredients as well, I would imagine. But I really feels like you're paying a lot for this. This is a hefty sucker, you know? I was not overwhelmed by this. So this is a very lightweight matte lipstick. There's no grip to it. There's a lot of velvety sliding. Coming up with these phrases is sometimes really hard in beauty. There's always words out there, marketing words, but it's sort of like it deposits a lot of pigment quickly. There's not a lot of moisture that I can feel. It gets a little velvety, slippery. It's different. And I don't dislike it, and this is also the shade, so let's not just talk about, the lipstick, but the shade here is Mink. Let's try something else. I feel like the pigment pops a little bit more. This is the Gen C lipstick. This went way too fast. I'm sorry. I really like 90% of what I try from that brand. I have not used this much. I cannot push it up anymore. Unbelievably fast. So I don't know if I just got a very little amount, if I nicked it one day, doubtful. Shade Rosy. But that one adheres a little bit better. It sticks around a little bit better. Why is my face so shiny? Actually, I kind of know why. Because the Air Perez also gives a dewy glow. This is the Soch lip liner. I'm not seeing a very vast difference between this and other lip liners, but I do like the shade that this comes in. This is in Skinny Dip. A nice, neutral, darker neutral. Something else I'm seeing quite a bit of is actual makeup artists taking the lip, like a rounded lip brush, and then they're blurring it out here and around the top. So when they overline the lip, it's really soft. It doesn't look very overlined. You know what I mean? Do the hair. Gotta do the hair, girl. I need a haircut so bad. And my girl left. She left. Why do they always leave? Why do they always leave? That's for another day. But this is the completed look. Very peachy, very pinky, very summery, and very much so a rapid fire update of lots of scorecards that are ready for you. What have you been trying lately? Have you tried any of the new releases? Have you tried anything around that? Everything that I mentioned is linked below. If you want to see Britt's picks out of the thousands of products that I've tried, those are my favorites, current favorites that I would try again and again and again, then check them out. Link below to that. And I will be back again soon. I hope you enjoyed just hanging out and talking about makeup. Bye.